Hello, welcome. Hello, Facebook friends. Welcome. I am getting ready to go live. And let's see, man, if you give me just a quick second, I wanted to share this video with a few groups. So just give me a quick second. As you come in, make sure you comment below and tell me, where are you coming from and what are you doing today? And does it feel like fall where you are? We are so happy that the weather is cool and the leaves are starting to fall on the ground. This is my jam, you guys. Fall is my jam. I'm loving fall. All right. So when you come in, make a comment and tell me where you're coming from and what are you doing, and make sure you can hear me okay and see me okay. And I'm going to turn around real quick and just share this video on one of my Facebook groups. So just give me a quick second. Okay, I'm back. Oh, let's see. Okay, Gabby's saying she's sneaking at the office. Shh, we're gonna have to tell Gabby. She's gonna put her earbuds in so she can sneak. She can be sleuths, stealth-like. Hi, Donna. Welcome. Hi, Terry. Welcome. So everyone's starting to come in. Yay! I just love it. So if you're new to my webpage or my Facebook page, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Julie Samaco, owner of Southern Charm Wreaths, where we make beautiful wreaths and teach you how to make and sell them through ebooks and e-courses. I'm also a business coach and mentor to creative entrepreneurs through my Success Circle membership group. So in today's video, I want to show you and give you tips on how you can organize your craft, like get ready for craft shows that you might have coming up. Question whether or not craft shows are right for you, giving you tips on how to display your items, ways to make more money. We need that, right, ladies? All right. So whether you're doing craft shows, professionally, more than once, and you have a business that you're really, hustling with, a creative business that you're hustling with. So, or whether you're just trying to make an extra, few bucks to go on vacation or get through Christmas, and we all have been there. So you can use craft fairs. Do you call it craft fairs or craft shows? Comment and tell me how you say it, because I hear it both ways. And to me, a craft show seems a lot more upscale than a craft fair. I don't know. What do you say? But anyway, so as you come in, tell me, do you do craft fairs? Have you considered doing a craft fair? And what's your take on it? And then I'm going to go through some tips that I have for you. And if you maybe save your questions to the end, I will answer the questions towards the end. Let's see. Okay, let me get everything in order. The first thing I want to tell you about craft fairs, let me get my pen, is to first of all, you want to research your area and see what craft fairs are in your area. You want to do, research, and because there's so many out there, and you have to decide how far do you want to travel, how close is it to you, and just do some research on the craft show or craft fair, however you want to say it, before you make the investment, because you know you have to pay for a booth to be included in the craft fair. You might want to also check out their event pages, you know, go to the craft fair's Facebook pages and check their events to see how popular they might have been, because if they are any good, they would be, you know, publicizing it. You want to check last year's and see how much advertising did they do. Did they get the word out for their vendors? Because that's very important. I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't also advertise for your own booth, but you want to make sure that the craft organizers or the fair organizers are also doing their fair share of advertising. So you can search online for some craft shows near you. You could use, let's see, there's festival.net. Hold on 1 minute. All right, sorry, I had to block someone. There's festivalnet.com. There is crafts with an S, craftsfaironline.com, craftlister.com, and nationalcraftshows.com. Now, at the end of the video, I will add all this information onto my blog so that you can get to it, and I'll also put it in the comments so that you have it, because I know you know, you're probably, I don't know, you might want to get a pen and paper, you guys, because I've got so much information to give you. All right, you want to get a pen and paper for real. Let's see. All right, so those are some of the places you can go and, you know, search and research and see what's in your area. And you don't want to, be very careful. You don't want to do craft shows that are like back to back. So you don't want to do one weekend of craft show, right? And then the very next weekend have another craft show. Listen, that's just not, I mean, what if that first weekend is gangbusters and you sell everything? Then you've got only a week to get ready for, you know, the next show, and it's just also not fair to you. It's not fair to your family, because you know going to craft shows is stressful on the family. Can I get an amen? All right, so you want to make sure you space your craft shows out enough to where you get the best benefit, okay? And then you want to also, let's see, create a Facebook event for your business page. All right, so I'm teaching everyone how to make a Facebook business page. It's very important to be a presence on Facebook if you're trying to sell anything creative, okay, that you make. So create a Facebook business page. You want to put the date in there, what the name of the craft show is, the location. You want to do that as soon as you book your craft fair, okay? And you could also put a link in there to the craft show's other, you know, craft show's Facebook page to see if, just try to get more, you know, make sure that you want your buyers to come out and see you, but they might be more enticed to come and see you if they could see other, you know, see other vendors that are going to be there. You know, you're trying to draw in as many people as possible, okay? Okay, so Nisha's given some information on some craft fairs that she's got. All right, awesome. Thanks for the tip. All right, so let's see. Oh, with that Facebook event, you want to start uploading images of items that you're going to be selling, okay? Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be like the whole item. For example, if you sell wreaths, you might want to just give like a little sneak peek of what's going to be there, like maybe the centerpiece or of the wreath, or a couple of the flowers of the wreath. Or every so often, if you have like a, you know, a spectacular wreath, you want to also maybe put a picture of that. If you sell jewelry, do the same thing. You want to you want to give little teasers of what they can expect and why they should come out to your craft show, and you know, purchase from you, but don't give them any prices on your craft page. I mean, on your event page, okay? Don't give them any prices. You want to save the pricing and all of that for when they get there, all right? Because you don't want them to decide yay or nay if they want to go or not before they even get there. So the whole point of that event page on Facebook is to get your followers out there where you're at. All right, another tip for you is to use your email list. Now, if you're in my Success Circle membership group, one of the things I'm going to be training on next month is creating an email list, okay? So you need to use your email list. If you've started one, you want to email out to your email people or list people that where you're going to be, and you know what the dates and the times are. You might want to also include a few photos of things that you're going to be selling, a link to the vendor the link to the show organizers so that they can also see who other people that might be there. You might want to also bring to their attention, you know, if you sell wreaths, you might want to also bring to their attention that other home decor people will be there. Or if you sell jewelry, you know, you might want to, you know, link to other fashion people who might be there. So just try to use your email list, okay? Because that's what it's for, marketing. All right, and then the next thing I want you to do is, if you're on Etsy, I'm not sure, I think you have to have an Etsy account, but if you're on Etsy, you want to create an Etsy local event. So the one reason I really love Etsy is they work really hard to get the word out for their shop owners, okay? So if you're at an event, you can create a local event, and then people who use Etsy often and go through Etsy and you know shop. I'm not talking about the sell on Etsy app. I'm talking about the regular Etsy app that buyers use, okay? You can, at the very top, there's like a menu. You keep scrolling to the top and there's going to be a link that says local. If you click on that, that gives you a list of all of the vendors in your, you know, close to you, and it gives examples of what they're going to be selling and that type of thing. So that's another tip for you, to use Etsy to get your word out that you're going to be at a craft fair. Let's see. Just checking the questions. Will we be able to play this video back? Yes, Lynn, you will. There will be a replay, okay? So don't stress if you don't catch everything, or if you don't have a pen and paper. All right, it'll be ready for replay in a few hours. All right, so then I want you to all right, so there you go. So we've got some ways that you can advertise that where you're going to be. All right, so that's the advertising part of it. Now what I want you to do is consider if you're going to do a lot of craft shows, you want to consider purchasing one of those tents. You know, that you see a lot often. Those are going to really help you because, you know, it protects you and your items from the sun. Now, you want to make sure you get a tent that zips up on all the sides, all right? Because some places you can actually go the day in advance and set up your stuff and then zip everything up, all right? So you want the ones that zip up, the tents that zip up. Also, it helps with if there's rain or wind and stuff like that, you're able to protect your items more because you can like zip up the sides and zip up the back. And sometimes you just want a white background. You don't want to see the vendors behind you. So if you have one that has panels that zip on it, I recommend that. Now, if you don't want to right now, I understand that this is expensive, getting a business going, and you might not have money to invest in a tent, but maybe you could borrow one. You know, check your church. Gosh, they always have tents. Check around and see if you can borrow one. You might want to I'm not sure if you can rent those things, but you could check into that. So just check around, because there's always going to be somebody, especially now, all right, in the fall when everyone's all about tailgating. Look now, because they're probably on sale right now, all right? So but you can definitely want to have a tent to protect your items. The next thing you want to bring are table and chairs. obviously, because you are going to be, you're going to be standing a lot, but there are going to be times when you have to sit down. So you're going to need a chairs. You're going to want a table that you can cover. All right. You want to cover the table because I want you to use underneath the table as storage. So you can store extra things that you want to sell. You can store, you know, supplies and, you know, little, I'll go into the emergency kit next, but you know, your emergency kit stuff can go under there, a cooler or whatever. So the table acts as a place to add your display stuff, but it also will act as a place to store stuff. But you want it covered. You want it to look nice when people come in. You don't want them to see all of that storage stuff, okay? And then the next thing to consider is bringing an emergency kit, because you're going to be out there. Now, if you're here like locally in the rural areas, some of those craft fairs, man, you're doing good if you even have electricity. I am not lying. So you want to have everything with you that you could possibly think of, all right? So that you don't have to, you obviously can't just come on back home and, pick up whatever you forgot. So you want to make sure you have an emergency kit. So in the emergency kit, I want you to have things like a tape measure. You have to also think about your own customers and what you're selling in your creative business, and think of what you might need, because right now all I can really give you are tips and ideas for any home decor sellers out there. Okay, so you want to think of like a tape measure, so that people who might want to measure, get the measurements of stuff like that. So you want to make sure you bring like a hot glue gun, an extension cord, which I just thought of. Let me write that down. So an extension cord for anything like the hot glue gun or your phone charger or something like that. You never know when you might, have access to some outlets. You want to bring glue sticks. You want to bring wire or pipe cleaners, scissors, markers. You want to bring extra hang tags. Now, all of your items should have hang tags on, and they should have prices. And you can get some hang tags at bowsandbags.com. I really love their selection, and you can actually use stamps and stuff like that and make it real personalized. Or how about, let's see, gum and breath mint. You're going to be up close and personal with your buyers. You don't want to have no stanky breath. You know what I mean, right? So you want to have breath mints and gum. Also, pen and paper. You're going to want snacks. And don't forget your smartphone. And a phone charger, if you can find a place to charge it. Is everybody still on here? All the comments have just stopped. I hope you guys are still watching. All right, and then also sunglasses and a sun hat and water. Especially if it's in the middle of the summer, you're going to want water. If it's in the middle of winter, or if it's cool, and you know how it's right now, it's cool in the early in the morning, and then it warms up. So in the morning, you might want to have a thermos with something warm for you, something to put around your feet. You could also have a heater and stuff like that. So you could bring all of that. So just kind of think of what you would bring for your creative business. I guess if you're a jewelry maker, you'd want the jewelry making tools and, that type of thing. So just keep in mind, what do you think, what do you use like on a daily basis making your product? And that's what you need to bring with you. All right, now you want to bring lots of business cards, you guys. Lots of business cards. Can you see my business cards? You want stacks of business cards, because you're going to find people who are not ready to buy, all right? They're just not. Not everyone that comes to your tent or your booth are ready to buy. So you want to give them a business card. You want to you make sure that they know who you are and can remember who you are and get in contact with you and check out your Etsy shop or your Facebook page and that type of thing. So that's a way for them to continue to stay in contact with you after the show's over. So make sure you take your business cards and I want you to network with the other vendors. You want to, get business cards from them, give business cards to them. You want to network, and you just never know where a relationship will take you from someone that you meet. Even your competition, you want to network, and because you can always help each other. You just never know where a relationship might take you. So do that. And then, all right, so when you're setting up your craft fair, your booth, now keep in mind that that is your little mini retail space. So you need to set it up like a retail shop, all right? So this is very important. These tips are very important, so make sure you write this down. All right, so you want your little, I know you're outside and it's a tent. There might be grass, or you might be inside. Even if you're inside, bring a tent, because then it'll section off your little area. But it'll, it's just going to be cold and not like warm and inviting. Does that make sense? So you need to make your tent warm and inviting. So things that you can do to make them warm and inviting are lay down a throw rug. Consider bringing like plants to warm up the area. Think about if you've got electricity, maybe you can do lamps. And even if you don't have electricity, you can consider bringing in like small, like I'm talking like little table lamps and stuff, you guys, and maybe give the illusion of what it will look like in a home. Because when you have these things, it kind of gives the illusion of being at home, and what will your items look like at home, and that type of thing. So if you're a jewelry maker, you might want to bring one of those stands that what do you call those, mannequins, with the dress, and display some of your stuff. And you just want to think out of the norm. Think about when you go into your specialty boutiques that sell items like you sell. What would you see in those boutiques? And that's kind of what you want to try to emulate that in your craft booth. Don't also, those things that are laying around, you put a hang tag on them, because you can sell that lamp, and you can sell that rug, and you can sell that plant, all right? So that way you might not have to bring it back home. Let's see, you want to make sure that you display your items. Let me see my flyer. Okay, I'm just looking at the comments real quick. So, Tammy went through 500 business cards. You go, girl, at her last show. You go, girl. Terry made the comment of wire zip ties, and Susan said wire cutters. Awesome, thanks. I'm going to write that down. Let's see. When you display your items, you want to make sure that you have it layered, okay? You don't want people to come into the booth and then it's just like a square thing of display. You want to have it layered. You want to have it staged. You want to have, if you have something on the table, you want to have something tall in the back. You want to have something a little, medium size in front of that, and then something small in front of that. So that's what I'm talking about, layered, so that when your eye is looking, it's gradually going up. So you want to put like some smaller things in the bottom, and larger, things in the middle, and then taller things in the back. So you can do that on your walls, and you can do that on your the table, and just everywhere you could think of. You want to consider the layering and making sure that you're staging your booth with the multiple layers. Also, you want to stage your items with using things that are like store-bought. So like right now it's in the fall. You might want to bring pumpkins that you bought at Hobby Lobby, and scarecrows. You might want to bring some, football paraphernalia, stuff like that you could, for Christmas, you're going to want to bring like ornaments and stuff. So you use those things that you've purchased at those places to help stage your craft area, to make it feel, more inviting, and you're going to sell those. Put a hang tag on all that stuff that you're using to help display your items, okay? So you're also selling those too. You can also have your, let's see, did I say this yet? I don't think I said this yet. When you're displaying all of your items in your craft booth, I want you to walk in, all right? When you're first getting there, you're going to walk in, and whatever your eye level is, all the way across, you know, on all walls, on all, everywhere in your booth, where the eye level hits is where I want you to put your most expensive items, okay? Or the items that you're wanting to sell the most. Because when people walk in, the first thing they're going to see is either, oh my gosh, that is amazing. I've got to have that. Or anything that you're trying to move out and get rid of, that's where you want to put your, that is the prime location, okay, for your booth, is wherever the eye level is. And always move things around. So after a while, if things aren't selling at that eye level, just switch it around and put some other stuff there, okay? But the eye level is a primo area for putting stuff you're ready to get rid of. All right, so let's see. Also, consider having like shelving or towers or something on the outside of your booth. Now, you have to follow the rules of the craft show organizers, okay? Because sometimes they don't allow anything coming out of a certain area. But, you know, what I would do is, like, on my blog, if you go to my blog, southerncharmrees.com/blog, and just put in craft show in the search bar and hit return, it's going to give you some articles and stuff like that. But there's also one on there where I teach you how to make these towers out of shelving units, Rubbermaid shelving units. You just zip tie them together. They're easily to transport, so they're you know, pretty lightweight. You can weight them down on the bottom if you're worried about them, you know, with the wind and stuff. But you can put these towers like right outside of your booth to help hang stuff on it, okay? And it could be scarves, it could be you know, anything that you want to, so that when people are walking down that main area and they've got all these vendors and stuff, something is going to draw their attention and bring them in. That's what you want on those things on the outside. Something bright and vibrant, you know, something that's going to be like, oh wait, I want to go down there and see what's down there. Okay, that's what you want to put on those towers that are sitting like right outside of your craft umbrella, okay, or tent. All right, let's see. Okay, consider, this is another thing that you might want to do, is bring in an iPad with a slideshow of things that you've made in the past, okay? So you're going to take, you know, I know you take pictures because you're a smart, creative business, right? You take pictures of everything so that you can use it to market. Even if it was like a couple of years old, it's still something that represents your talent and something you've done, and you want to advertise that, okay? So you want to bring like an iPad that you could just prop up on the table that's a slideshow that's constantly showing stuff. Also, you can bring, you know, they make these little small monitors that are the smart TVs, and all you do is plug in a thumb drive and you could create a slideshow just from that. But of course with the TV you need to make sure you have power. But if you don't have any of that, just bring in a simple notebook, a 3-ring binder with photos of, you know, not the little photos, because you're going to have women, you know, like me, who are getting really blind in the age and stuff, and they don't want to have to pull on their spectacles. But you want a big photo of things that they can see and not have to pull all their glasses on, and then, you know, put it in the page protectors and stuff. But just a 3-ring binder that they can flip through, and they can see examples of items that you've made in the past. And sometimes, because they might want something and you haven't brought it or made it, but you can like, oh wait, I've got a picture and I can do a custom order for you, and you know, that type of thing, okay? So make sure you bring examples of what you've done in the past. Now, also what you're going to want to do with your booth is, before you even leave the house, all right? Wait, let's see if I'm getting any questions. Okay. Oh, great. Then you like the tower idea? Oh, good. Go to the blog and you can see the towers. Thanks, Jody. Oh, good. Angela's saying great tips. Yay. I'm glad they're helpful for you. All right, let's see. So before you even leave the house, you guys, I want you to practice your setup, okay? Before you leave the house, I would say the weekend before or a couple days before, practice everything. Where is everything going to be placed exactly? Use some painter's tape and tape off and measure out how big your space is, and put place everything that you think that you're going to want to where you're going to want everything displayed. Set up the tables, set up the towers, put everything where you think you're going to want it, because I promise you this will pay off, because when you get there, that's one less thing to have to think about, because you know how time it takes you to get it just right and do things like that. So you want to make sure that you're practiced, so that when you get there early in the morning before the crack of dawn, without your coffee yet, you can quickly put that stuff out there and not have to think too hard. All right, so practice, practice, practice. Okay, Susan's giving tips on her table. She brings a table and what she drapes over it. Yep, and Stephanie's like, mock trial. Exactly, that's exactly what I'm trying to say, Stephanie. Thanks for that. All right, so also what I want you to do, let's see. Oh, okay. So sometimes I'm like, what did I write? Okay. Let's say, for example, you have an item that you know is going to be super popular. Instead of making, 20 of that one item, just make one and make it super, spectacular, all right? And you bring that one and you display it and you take custom orders on it. So that's going to save you time from having to remake, make so many of them and then possibly not selling and that type of thing. So you want to make anything that you think is going to be really popular, you want to just make one of them and just use it as a display and tell them you're taking custom orders, and don't forget to get their money right then. Don't promise somebody a custom order without getting their moolah. I'm telling you, you will be burned. So you want to have that money, even if you don't want to ask for the full payment up front, which I completely recommend you do. Get at least 50%, all right? Enough to cover your supplies and also make a little, extra, okay? You don't want to be burned with custom orders and people not coming and picking them up and stuff, all right? So make sure you get their money. And then let's see. Okay, now what I consider this, you guys. So when somebody buys something from you, what do you put it in? How are you going to package it up for them to take? Are you going to cover it up and what kind of packaging? First of all, the packaging needs to be really, really good, okay? Because that's another expression of your business, all right? That's another way for them to get to know you, get to trust you, and that type of thing. So make sure your packaging is on point. Now, one thing I want you to consider, if you sell wreaths, if you sell anything that's a little bit bulky in size, you can even do this if you sell jewelry, scarves. I guess I'm not sure if you would sell pottery at these places. You probably want to cover that up pretty tight. But what else do you sell? Think about this and see if you can use it for your creative business. I would get a cellophane bag. Now, you can get some cellophane bags that are really thick, and I would get a cellophane bag and just cover it up with the cellophane bag and put, some raffia at the top and attach your business card, because I've got one right here sitting beside me. Hold on. Can you guys see this? So this is a wreath that's wrapped in cellophane. I didn't have any raffia, but I had some of that deco tubing, and I got my business card, and this is what the buyers are going to be carrying around the show. Now, let me tell you, when you do something like this, people are going to see it. Other buyers, other shoppers are going to see this. And what they're going to do, okay? And what they're going to do is they're going to say, hey, where'd you get that? What shop had that? I want that. Where did you get that? And so it's just going to advertise for you. So your buyers who have already purchased for you are going to be advertising for you as they walk and continue their shopping and stuff throughout the craft show. All right, now I've got those cellophane bags can be purchased at Creative Gift Packaging, okay? And that, let me get my receipt. The size for that bag that I just showed you, it's a 24-inch wreath, and that was a 30 by 40-inch clear cellophane bag, okay? And I got it at Creative Gift Packaging. So check them out. They have all these different sizes of cellophane bags, and they can send you samples. They used to, I'm not sure if they still do, send you samples of the cellophane bags to see if it's going to work for you. But make sure you leave enough time because it might take them a while to send a sample. But that, just so you know, is a 30 by 40. All right, so you liking these tips, you guys? Are you liking them? Let me know. Hey, if you like these tips, will you do me a huge favor and share? Just click the little share man at the bottom and click share. And what that does is it tells me that you're loving my videos so that I can keep doing them. And it puts it on your timeline so that you can remember to come back and watch it. So you're not having to search through and try to remember where you saw that video on craft fairs and stuff like that. So if you share it on your own timeline, it will be there right there on your own timeline, and it'll make it so much easier for you to find. All right, so let's see. Moving on with my tips. Oh, great. Melissa's loving the bags. Okay, Susan, you saw where I got the bags at Creative Gift Packaging, creativegiftpackaging.com, I think. I'll put the links in the video, or I'll have it on my blog next week. This video will be on my blog, and I'll put all the links in the blog. Yep, Angela, all of these tips will be on my blog next week, and it'll have a checklist. All right, so it'll have everything on there next week. All right, so keep moving on. Y'all, I have a whole nother page. All right, so you want to make sure when you're, displaying your items in your booth that you have enough to sell. I see some people who complain about not having a lot of sales and that type of thing. And when I see pictures of their booth, they hardly have anything for sale in them, and you can't help but wonder, well, no wonder they didn't get more sales. They don't have enough of a selection for a buyer to choose from. So you want to have your booth, okay, I'm not saying go cray and fill it up to where you can't move. Have you ever been in those shops? You know what I'm talking about. Have you ever been in those shops that are so crowded that you're getting claustrophobic and you're just like, can't wait to get out of the store because your eye, there's so much stuff your eye can't focus on one thing? I'm not talking about that. I'm not saying that. But I want you to have a lot. I don't want to see any like white space. I want it to be enough to where people are, looking and they can look at stuff and, that type of thing. You don't want to, and you want the layers, like I said. So you want to make sure you have enough. Now, you want to bring, I know you have great expectations and you're going to bring a ton of stuff to sell, but you don't want to put it all out yet. So that's where you're going to store the stuff underneath the table. Remember, I told you to put the tablecloth on, or you're going to have it in the trailer or the truck or the car or whatever. You're going to have extra supplies and, extra product to sell so that when things start, getting, weeding out and you start selling stuff, you can bring more of your product in to fill it back up again, okay? So you want to be prepared. And I know what you're saying, but what if I make all this stuff and I don't sell it? Number one, we ain't going there. We ain't going to that negative talk, all right? We ain't going there. But if that does happen, you come on Etsy, you open up your Etsy shop, and you list everything in Etsy, and you sell it there, all righty? Or your Facebook page or wherever you're selling. All right, so let's see. All right, I already said that. Let's see. I'm just making sure I haven't forgotten anything. All right, here's a very important thing. Write this down. So you want to sell you want to have everything at various price points. You don't want to sell all of the same things at the same price. And also you have to think about it. People who are coming to these craft shows and craft fairs, they are not most of them are not going to just drop $100 on something, okay? They're going to be spending, you know, 20 here, 30 there, maybe 50, maybe 70, you know what I'm saying? So it's going to be the rare person who is going to be dropping $100 for things. It also depends on your craft show. Now, if you're in the higher end craft show vendor, the shows that tend to cater to the higher end crowd, that's different, okay? But if you're doing, you just need to keep in mind who are the buyers that are be coming in, what will be their average, prices that they're going to be spending. And that's what I want you to make sure that you're hitting the average, what they're going to be spending. You're going to have a few items that are a little bit higher than what they're spending. And then you're also going to want to have a lot of smaller items, okay? Because let's say, for example, if I'm selling wreaths, I would have, my lantern swags, which would be smaller. I would have smaller wreaths. I might have table centerpieces and stuff. Because what will happen is if somebody comes in and they want to spend $50 with me, they might say, I'll take that, that, and that. And so I'm still getting their $50, but they're buying smaller things. So for example, if you are a jewelry seller, and you might want to have like 3 things in one bag. So that might be 3 things, that one price gets you 3 things. So in that buyer's head, they feel like they're getting more for their money. They're spending the same amount of money with you as they would if they bought one thing, but they feel like they're getting more. So you try to see what you can, package up together and try to group things together and sell as a group, okay? So if you're selling wreaths, it might be, I can sell you a mailbox bow and, a lantern swag and a table centerpiece, or a wreath and a mailbox bow and, a lantern swag or something like that. Just kind of like group things together and try to give a price for that grouping, okay? Let's see. Oh, write this down. Are you ready? I'm going to blow your mind. I'm going to blow your mind with this tip. Sell your supplies. I'm saying, if you're in the home decor industry like me, bring your ribbon, because girl, I know you got it. If you're like me, I know you got a ton of ribbon, unused, unopened, not, maybe you probably will never use it. Bring it, okay? You want to have a bin, like you want a nice basket and stuff of ribbon in there, because people are going to want to be doing their own stuff. They're going to have some DIYers coming through here. They might want to decorate their Christmas tree, and they like that ribbon, bring the ribbon so you can sell it to them by the bolt. Bring any unopened deco mesh. People like to decorate their own stuff. So if you start selling off your supplies, it brings in another price point for your craft booth, okay? Remember I told you about making sure you have your price points. So you want to sell your supplies. You can sell things like signs, if you put signs in your wreaths, picks, gosh, you can buy wholesale these picks for like 50 cents and sell them for $5 a pop. So these people they're going to want, they want to decorate their own trees, and they want to decorate their own houses and, try to do their own stuff. And so if you're providing them the supplies with it, that it brings in another price point for you, and definitely mark it up retail. So if you buy it wholesale, you mark it up retail before you sell it to them. All right. So that will help you. Do you like that tip? Did y'all like that tip? I love that tip, because how many of us always overbuy on our supplies? And if you're going to a craft show, you might as well just bring it and put a hang tag on it and try to sell it. All right, so let's see. All right, consider selling a kit for a shopper who might want to do something themselves. So if you're a jewelry maker, you might want to think about bringing beads and wire. I'm not sure what goes on with jewelry making, obviously not the tools, but and print off instructions, put it in a Ziploc bag and sell it. You're going to want to sell this because always, listen, always, when you sell your knowledge, it pays off. I'm telling you. So you want to make sure you put all of your, make sure you tell them it's registered. This is, registered and not to be shared. And you put your little logo and your links, all of that on the instructions so that, but when they get home, they can make it themselves. So if you're, if you're a wreath maker, you've got supplies, print off some instructions and, teach them how to make it. Tell them you'll sell them the kit. So, what else? If you're, I don't know. Oh, if you're a cross stitch, consider selling patterns. Okay. If you are a knitter, what about selling patterns for, some patterns that you come up with, okay? You have to create the pattern. You can't, sell somebody else's design. That would not be legally right. So, but try to think of what you make in your creative business. How could you teach somebody to make it? Write it down on a piece of paper and sell a kit. All right, so that's another tip for you to make money with your craft show. All right, so I'm teaching that always in my Success Circle membership group. With my the creative entrepreneurs I'm mentoring on how to make money with their knowledge and how to start getting out there and becoming an expert in your industry. It's just really going to pay off for you. All right, let's see. Consider selling items, here's another tip, that you don't make, all right, but fit within your niche. So for example, if I don't make certain signs, I could still sell them. I can maybe, connect with somebody, for example, who makes monograms and sell monograms in the booth. Or if somebody, who else? I don't know. Try to think of what can you sell that you don't necessarily make, but it fits within your niche, because the less stuff that you can sell and not have to make, the more successful you're going to be with your craft show. All right, let's see. Oh, let's talk about taking the money. That's all what it's about, right? Taking the money. All right, so when people come to buy, I'm telling you now, the majority of the people have to use their debit cards because that's just the society that we're in, all right? People rarely have cash anymore. So you, as a business shop owner, need to be prepared. So you need to have one of those card readers that they have that you can swipe the card. And I'm going to show you mine that I use. All right, so this is the one that's for Etsy. I know the, oh gosh, let's see, I think the lighting is a little off. Yeah, I don't think it's going to show, but this is Etsy, and it comes with this little card that you can display that says, we take Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover. It's got the Etsy logo on the back, and it has a little sign that you can flip over and says, I'll be right back, and then put your shop name on it. But then it comes in this cute little box, okay, and then it has the card reader inside of the box. So all you're going to do, obviously, I didn't think to bring another phone, but you take the card reader out, and it has the cute little Etsy Etsy logo on it, and you're going to stick this in to where you put in your earphones on your phone, okay? And there's a little slide on the back so that you can swipe their card and take their credit card information, all right? Now, the reason I like Etsy is because I can sell things directly from my shop. So a customer might want to see something, like if I've got that iPad going back and forth and they see something they like, I can say, oh, well, I'll sell it to you right here, and swipe it, and you can ship it to them or give it to them somehow. Also, you can have your items in your booth, but they're also on your Etsy shop, and you might want to get rid of it and not accidentally also sell it on Etsy. So you can, sell it directly from your Etsy inventory. So I really like that. Also, it helps, it gives you, it lets you put in your tax, because you need, if you're set up as a business and you need to collect sales tax and stuff like that, it allows you to put that in. So I really that's why I love the Etsy one. But There's also ones from PayPal. There's ones from Square. You know, there's different ones out there that you can use. And the card reader themselves are free, okay? Now, there is going to be a slight increase in fees because you're doing it this way versus the cash. I don't know exactly. I'm going to say like 2.7% or 3 something percent. So you have consider, do you want to mark it up because you're taking the card, or I wouldn't. I would just take the card and be happy with the sale and deal with the fees, you know, that you've got to be charged the fees. That's all. You're just, it's the convenience of it. Does that make sense? So you've got to give a little to get a little. All right, so make sure you bring a card reader, all right? You also might want to have a couple. I know sometimes they get a little glitchy. When I used to use a lot for volunteering and stuff, they got a little glitchy, and we had a couple, and we were able to switch them around and stuff. All right, so let's see. I told you about the Sell on Etsy app, right? So that you can sell it directly from your Etsy shop. And I'm not sure. I have to go back and research. I'm not sure if they can actually leave a review. So if they buy it right then and there from your Etsy shop, I'm not sure if they can leave a review. But if they could, would that not be awesome? That would be awesome, because you could say, can you leave a review? Anyway, but make sure when you're selling on Etsy, with your Sell on Etsy app, that you try to entice them to get a receipt, all right? Because when you send a receipt to them through their email and stuff through the Etsy shop, it's going to have your logo, your branding, it'll have your shop links and stuff like that. So it's just another way for them to stay connected with you. So that's why, another reason why I really love that Sell on Etsy, okay? Let's see, I've got a few more tips. Now, if you're just joining me, welcome. We're talking about craft fair tips on how to make more money, how to get organized, what are some options that you can consider selling, and how to set up your fair. But you can also join me on the replay if you missed any of the tips that I've already gone over. Okay, going on. I just got a few more. Stay with me. The next thing I want you to start using, I told you about collecting emails, okay? You guys, this is the prime time for collecting people's emails. I want you to do a giveaway in your booth. I want you to make whatever you make, whatever it is, I want it to be spectacular, over the top, the best thing you've ever made, something you would never consider giving away, and that's what I want you to give away, all right? I want you to give away something amazing, amazing. Because if it's amazing, these people who are coming into your shop and not buying will probably give you their email address. Okay, so then you could say, all right, we're having a drawing for this amazing item that I know you want. You'll be the envy of the neighborhood, or whatever, however you want to sell it, and say, we're having a drawing, so, but you need to like enter your email address. So they can either, what I highly suggest is getting, having them enter the email address on their own smartphone, because then they're typing it out. You don't have to go back and read email, you have to read handwriting and stuff like that. So that's old school. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it if that's all you have, obviously, but consider doing it more technology these days, okay? Because people will just think you've got your stuff together if you can do it all online and all, electronic. So if you, I'm going to teach my Success Circle group next month how to set up their email marketing and how to set up and use emails and stuff like that. But one of the apps that I'm going to recommend to them produces these QR codes. Do you know what these are, you guys? So if you have a smartphone and you have a QR code reader, they can just snap a picture or snap a scan of that, and what it will do is links directly to your email account that you've set up, and it asks for their name and their email address. They enter it, and boom, it's done. So they scan this, enter their email address, boom, it's done. All right. So that's why I love these this technology and stuff. It just makes it so much easier to sell. Really, it does. All right. Now consider this. What if it was a two thing entry, like a 2-step process for entry? What if it's give me your email address and like my Facebook page. If you can get them to give you 2 things for this amazing, remember, it has to be an amazing thing you're giving away, something you would never want to give away, but you're giving it away. So they'll be more than happy to give you their email address, and they'll be happy to, like your Facebook page and that type of thing. Obviously, don't go overboard in trying to get them to jump through hoops and stuff. You just want to make it, pretty simple for them. You could do a QR code for liking your Facebook page, all right? And then, you could do another QR code for have it real big and put it like in an 8x10 clear frame that you might get from Hobby Lobby, and it just sits on your booth, and you can say scan the code and it goes to my website, or scan the code and it goes to my Etsy page, or something like that. So you can use these other places in your booth. If you need more tips for using QR codes in your craft shows, go to my blog, southerncharmreads.com/blog, and in the search box, search for craft shows, and it gives you some articles, and one of them is different ways to use QR codes when you're selling at craft shows. All right, I just love the QR codes. I love them. All right, let's see. I already said that. All right, so when you capture their email, don't just sit on it. That's when you want to send them an email 2 days after the show and say, I want to, thank you for entering and the contest, and it was so nice to meet you at the XYZ craft show last, 2 days ago, and I just wanted to thank you, and this is a little bit about me, who I am, and here is my shop where you can find me online, and here's my Facebook page. Oh, and here's a sale that I might be having, or here's some items that I'm, a new line that I'm bringing out this week, and by the way, at the very end, the winner of the drawing is, Sally Sue, whoever you pick from your email list, okay? So don't forget to follow up with them, because that's just courtesy. I mean, man, they gave you their private information. They're trusting you with it, so you need to make sure you make that connection with them and tell them who the winner is, but also how to get, find me on Facebook and how to find me on Etsy or online or wherever. So make sure that you're also following up. Tell them you take custom orders, things like that. All right. Don't forget to email them back. Also, consider bringing a friend with you when you're selling, because you're going to get tired, and listen, you're going to need a potty break. I'm not lying. You are. So bring somebody. Bless them if it's a spouse. That's all I can say is bless them, bless them. And hopefully they're coming willingly and not somebody you're like dragging. It's kicking and screaming, because I will just make a horrible day for you guys. But try to bring a friend, who can like relieve you when you need to go on break. Things like that, because they can be taking the orders when you're over there talking to a customer and selling and stuff like that. So it's just really good to have somebody to tag team with. Make sure when you're selling to people that you want to take pics. That person you bring in with you is going to be taking pictures of you. All right, they're going to be. It's going to show you in the action of working with your customers and selling one-on-one, and you're going to have a smile on your face even though your inside is dying and your feet are on fire. You're going to be smiling at everyone. So when they're taking the pictures, you're having a good old time, right? And you're going to put those on your Facebook page, all right? So that people can see that you love what you do. All right, so let's see. I think I said that. All right, here's the last tip. You guys, are you ready? Let me see if I went through all my goodies. The last tip. You ready? Demonstrate making something inside your booth, whether it be whatever, jewelry, you're cross-stitching, whatever you're doing, painting, demonstrate it, because when you start demonstrating something, people like to watch. Even if they could never make it themselves, it's therapeutic to them. They're on a relaxing shopping spree. You're the one stressing out. So if you start making stuff to entertain them, they start gathering around your booth. They're like, what's going on over here? People who are walking down the breezeway or whatever, the craft main area, they see this people collecting in your booth, and they see people standing out watching, and they're like, what's going on over there? We got to go check it out. So it brings people in to your booth. So people are standing around, your booth looks happening, and things are going on in there, and people want to be involved with it and stuff like that. So think about what you can demonstrate, making, tying a bow, making a wreath, whatever you do, demonstrate it in the craft booth so that you can get people to kind of like join in on the fun. And that's when you can, tell them who you are and stuff like that. All right. So I think that's it. I think those are all of my tips. You guys, these are going to be online on my blog next week with all the tips that you can download, and I'll give you links to all the stores that I recommended and mentioned in this broadcast. Okay, so remember, if you could just do me a quick favor, please share the video, share it wherever you're at, share it on your Facebook page. If you're catching the replay on YouTube, would you please share it somewhere? And then also don't forget to subscribe to my channels, subscribe to me and like me on Facebook, or if you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to me. And it just really tells me that I'm on the right track with providing what you guys are really interested in. Okay, so now I'm going to start going through all the questions. If you have any questions, make sure you comment them below. Okay, so Jennifer's saying, don't forget to bring order forms. I guess, Jennifer, if you're taking custom orders, that would be smart, right? To bring order forms. Let's see. All right, so Tracy, you must have come in late. I showed you how to package your wreaths if you're selling wreaths the way I would do it. So this is just a cellophane bag, and you could just some raffia at the top with your business card. And what that's going to do is it's going to advertise what people are buying in your shop, and it's going to people are going to wonder where they got that, and they're going to want to come back to your shop. Okay, they're going to ask where the buyers got that stuff. So you can I hope that answers your question, Tracy. Oh, Tammy's doing her first one next week. Perfect timing, Tammy. I hope you got some tips from this. All right, let me just see if there's anyone. Okay, Terry's like, she brought her son-in-law, and he did some selling himself. He sold a couple of wreaths. Awesome, awesome. While she was in the potty. That's hilarious. All right, Susan. All right, Susan is saying, show your friend a week before the show what you're selling and how to use the payment method tool. Smart thinking, Susan, smart thinking. Jane's entering her first craft show in November. Good luck to you guys. Good luck to you guys. This fall is going to be amazeballs. You guys are going to knock it out of the park with these tips, and you are going to be just on fire. This is just going to light a fire in you. You're going to be ready to sell more. Christmas is coming. This is the perfect time. If you're even thinking about getting in the business of selling your creative stuff, forget the crafts. It's now consider it as like a business. This is the perfect time. Perfect time. They need stuff, man. They need gifts. They need recipes. They need baked stuff. They need, they need a ton of stuff, decorating, ideas. And so now is the perfect time to get into it. All right. Yep. So Renee's liking the giveaway idea. Okay, so Stephanie's saying she's got her QR code on her business card. Yep, me too, Stephanie. I don't know if you can see it. You see it? Maybe if I tilt it like that. I've got 3 on the back. So this is the back of my business card, and it has my website, my ebook, and a Facebook like. So they can click either one of those and connect with me. So great. Okay, Beatrice, Bernice, thanks. I'm glad you like the ideas. Okay, George, is it George or Georgie, is saying that the fees that you collect with your debit cards and stuff like that are tax exempt or tax deductible, I mean. Yep. All right, I think I'm answering. I'm looking back to see if there's any questions. All right, I think it's just a lot of people saying they love these tips. Let's see if there's any, do I have an email address? Jane, are you asking for my email address? All right, so Tracy's asking about transportation back and forth to your craft fair for wreaths. Now, if you're a wreath seller, you could do, I would just, you could stack them gently on top. You would, want to put some of the flatter ones on the bottom, but you wouldn't stack too many, but you could stack them on top. You could get those, the clothes rack things that you could hang your wreaths there and just transport the whole thing onto some kind of truck. Make sure you secure it with bungee cords in the truck so it doesn't all roll around and stuff. You could use the clothes racks that, salesmen put in their car. Traveling salesmen, are they still around? They put in their car for hanging all their clothes on. I guess they still make those, but you could use that and hang some wreaths there. You just want to box everything up and just transport it as best you can. Make sure you wrap up anything breakable and that type of thing. So Brenda, yeah, you can use these ideas for an open house. Great idea. Great idea. Can you make a quick recovery at the fair if your items aren't selling? Okay, well, if you're in the middle if you're the 3/4 of the way through the show and your items aren't selling, you could start to discount them and stuff like that to try to get them to sell. You could do a 2-for-1 depending on what you're selling, that type of thing. So yeah, you want to start towards the end of the show putting discounts on if you really want to move them. But remember, I said you could bring them back and put them in your Etsy shop, or if you have another show coming up, save them for that show. But I hope that helps. All right, so anyway, that closes it up. Oh, Tammy, catch the replay. It talks about, I didn't go specifically into how many wreaths and stuff to bring, but I told you about filling up your booth and stuff. So you'll catch the replay on that. But anyway, thank you guys for letting me talk to you. And I'm so happy you guys are following me on Facebook. And anyway, I'll put the links again on the top of the description of the video, and I'll try to put some of the links here. But next week on my blog, southerncharmwreaths.com/blog, you'll find this article where you can print off the tips too. Okay? So anyway, I hope you guys have a great Thursday. See y'all later.